Okay. I just watched the African sex video and whoa, Nelly. Oh my God, you are crazy. It's just crazy because to be so self-aware and so politically aware is crazy. Now, emotions and sex. We fail to attach the two. Sex have actually become a recreational sport other than a sign of giving yourself to a person. To have sex with someone else, it should be a spiritual thing. You should mentally have an orgasm before you physically have an orgasm. That's basically how it's supposed to be. Now, that's probably why, and that, you know what, let's scratch that. That is why we have such a high rate as a people of AIDS infections, basically, and HIV infections and STD infections, and that's why most of our young women have to now get a vaccination for the HPV, human papillomatosis virus, and cervical cancer, because sex is now a recreational sport. When a man and a woman mate, it should be a physical attraction, but yet a mental experience. So if you took the time to meet someone and separate for a year or two, separate for 2 years and get to know each other mentally, then you've actually probably pleased that person more than once. We basically base ourselves on the feeling, and that just falls into line of, it goes way back mentally, and back so far you don't even know, where our African women were raped by slave owners and our African men were raped by slave owners and their wives, basically. So it becomes a generation to generation to generation back, ancestral, basically an ancestral thing, where you don't even mentally know you're doing it, and you don't mentally know why you're doing it. You just know that that's all you know. And it gets younger and younger. Just like if someone was molested by a relative, you would look down in family history and find out that their mother was molested, and then their grandmother was molested, and then their great grandmother was molested, and then their great great grandmother was raped by her slave owner. So basically, sex had stopped becoming anything spiritual a long time ago, because you just react on what was done to you. Um, if we were aware that sex is basically a mental thing, oh, what a world it would be. You know, we have to realize that the best orgasm to have is a mental one first. You become more satisfied if you thought on the terms of getting to know the partner that you're with, in the terms that maybe, just maybe, if you don't know them, it's not a right thing to do. Even if you use condoms and protected yourself, it's really not necessary to abuse your body, because what ends up happening is, when you have sex with many people, because that's basically what it is. It's not a making love process. It's not making love. It's just, when you have your recreational sport of activity, you don't realize that you're damaging the walls. This is in a perspective for women, that you are damaging the walls of your vaginal area, and it wears out, and you cannot clutch your pelvic muscle anymore, and it's not even worth it to have sex at that point. And then if you're having sex with different people, you don't know what they have. And not saying it's protected or unprotected, but if it's unprotected, you are risking your life. You are playing Russian roulette, and that's a game I just don't like to play. Now, as for men, if you continue to have your sexual recreationals, continue on this, I'm not a scientist, so I haven't yet experienced it scientifically. So if you continue to have these sexual experience as men, you will be done by the time you are in your 50s. You will no longer be able to get it up. So think twice before just making it a recreational sport, and maybe just thinking to get to know a person, because you'd be surprised at who you sleep with. And God forbid if you should make a baby, because then you'd be upset with who you slept with. Oh, this is long enough. Okay. Deuces, y'all.